Hi, it's 3rd of July, and we are going to study Nifty for the weekend. One of the things is we have a fellow trader, Gautam who actually uploaded a video just a few hours ago, and I was having a look into it, and there were some interesting things which he presented. So we are going to look into that video, and you will find the link, the whole video in the description. And I'm just going to use some of his analysis which he has done, and I'm going to use that, and I'm going to predict the next Nifty movement, and also I'm going to suggest of what are the levels in Nifty 50 that I would be entering the market going forward, and the general bias of the way I see Nifty 50 to be working and moving in the very short to medium term, say in the next this month, in the month of July, or in the month of from July to September, in this time frame. So let's start the video, and once we understand what Gautam is saying, then we will come back to Nifty chart, and I would be doing the analysis. So let's start the video. So here you can see this is the video I was talking about.
Welcome to the earlier on slightly different perspective, and that's why I have used some expert advisor on Metastock to show you whether this type of movement, whether this type of upside downside movement, very small moves have taken place earlier or not, or was it, which was extremely frustrating for traders. Briefly, we went above the breakout point of 15,901 on this particular day, and then again dipped back. Well, we failed to break out. Now, why is this happening? Let's go and visit the indicator. First thing first, the ADX. I will be focusing on that particular portion where ADX is sloping downwards and has moved below 20. Well, till that, from that level till this particular place where ADX again flattens out and moves upward. Well, watch here. This is not the first time which is happening here. In this place, as you can see, ADX has moved down and is presently flat. It is still to move upward. When such a situation happens, well, we do get gap downs followed by buying, gap ups followed by selling. Well, intraday swings are wide, but neck to neck it doesn't go anywhere. I'll be showing you some specific examples of this thing happening in the past. Let's have a look. Watch this particular place. Well, this was just before the World Trade Center attack which took place on 11th of September. Now, this was 11th of September. This particular day, just a day before, it was 11th of September here. After the market closed, Indian market closed, well, we had the news, and thereafter the fall came up here. But before that, what happened? See, we were going nowhere. ADX was constantly moving downward, and it was showing that we were in a trading sort of a market. Thereafter, in this, a breakout comes up. Well, that usually happens very fast. Well, will a breakout this time lead to the downside move? Well, not sure by any means. Can happen on the downside, it can happen on the upside as well. Let's see some more examples. Now, see, again, February 2002, well, January, February 2002, see, watch here, ADX had fallen, and here the upside move began after the ADX started to rise. In this case, a downside move. Another 10-15 days of flattish type of market, see, in 2003, and a downside move followed thereafter. We'll watch here, not exactly the pattern which we are witnessing, but we had a prolonged move for ADS below the levels of 1820 odd levels, and after a brief downside, well, we had a strong upside. This was the starting of the bull market in 2009. Another starting of bull market, January, February 2012. ADX had come way below, and then a fast upside move followed. Here too, as you can see in the current scenario, more or less in the current scenario, or rather in the month of May, June, well, ADS had gone below, we had a flat type of a market, and thereafter an upside move broke out. So as I told you, the movement can be on any direction when
Yeah, so we saw this analysis, and I hope you understand what Gautam is trying to say is with market moving nowhere, and since it has been consolidating in a tight range for so long, so theoretically we are poised for a very good sharp move, and this can come in either direction. So of course, if the market moves upward and it breaks 16,000, then definitely it would be one of the very good scope for momentum traders like me, where it would be a simple trade. But the problem comes in, and this is the main focus which I have for now is what happens if a breakdown comes, and what are the levels that as a trader and as an investor I would be monitoring, right? So let's start. As usual, we are in the daily chart, and we will start off by drawing some lines. So you can see in the month of mid of February there was an all-time high, and then theoretically it went for a very good of this channel. This was one of the very beautiful channels which was traded earlier. This is so simple to understand. You can understand that in the month of mid of May this breakout came, and then theoretically we moved forward, and now we are stuck over here, right? So definitely the move which came after this breakout, it was a good one, and till now it has not gone for any channel validation for this particular breakout which has happened. So this is one of the interesting lines, and another line which we can draw maybe is on 4-hour chart. Say for example, here is also one of the channels I want to showcase is this one, and so Nifty has been trying to it gave a very good breakout. Here we can see there was some short consolidation, and then it gave a breakout. It went for reversal and confirmation of this breakout, and then it moved away and made all-time high. But since then there has been a breakdown, and it took a very good support in this last month, and so you can see that it again went for this sort of double top, if you can say. And going forward, I wouldn't be surprised if Nifty is going to go for a retest of 15,500 levels again. From this particular structure, of course, if a breakout comes over 15,000, 16,000, 15,950 and 16,000, then of course it would be a much simpler trade, and anyone would be very much able to make money in that trade, because that would be a clear-cut breakout after such a long consolidation which started in the month of May. So since so many weeks we and days and sessions we have been in this particular channel, and also given the very fact that no matter how much FIIs are selling, the DIs are always able to match with their buying. So of course a breakout, if it comes after this narrow consolidation, it would be a very good trade, and going forward we can expect Nifty towards 16,400 levels. So the thing is, it's a very simple trade. But what happens if a breakdown comes in, right? And what would be a typical, see, the thing is, even if a breakdown comes in, these would be very temporary in nature, and going forward in the longer terms, these are very small minute blips in an otherwise upward spiral. So we as investors, we have to be always ready with our funds, so that when some important levels are reached in Nifty 50, then we are able to deploy our fund and hold it, and maybe this might also give us a very good opportunity for me to showcase some of the stocks which I have in my RB index. So if you want to know more about RB index and how I have my own index where I have my own list of companies, you will find that video in the upper right hand corner. So that's the only video which has been posted, and the main reason is I I want Nifty to dip, and I want Nifty to come to some good levels from where I can again, enter, and then only it would make sense for me to post videos. Till that level comes, I think it's better to wait and watch. And of course, if a breakout above 15,950 level comes and Nifty moves north, then of course we have to wait for a longer time, because ultimately it's all about long-term investment. And in long-term investment, you always have to have patience in the first place, and you also have to believe that you are always going to get some time. There will be some very perfect time where you would be able to deploy your fund and then try to hold it. Till the time comes, we have to either do swing trades or momentum trades or positional trades or even intraday trades, and as and when I'm trying to post it in my YouTube channel over here. So one of the very interesting things which I would be monitoring is this level of 15,500. This is also something which has a huge open interest, and maybe going forward, the way I see Nifty is getting a support over here, and if Nifty is not able to hold this one, then eventually this 15,000 levels would be a very good level for getting support, because this is has been a very good channel which has been working since a long time now, and maybe going forward, if such a dip comes in, so I wouldn't be surprised, and I would actually be very much interested in tracking a reversal over here in these levels. So till that level comes in, I really wouldn't say that it's going to be a good investment for us. Definitely, the good thing about the market is there are so many news which keep on flowing, and with so many block deals and promoters selling their stakes and everything, you always get very good companies at very good prices. We have seen that for companies like IEX, Indian Energy Exchange, and this is one of the stocks which I have also added, and I have extensively discussed the levels and everything until date. The analysis which was done has always turned out to be helpful, and the stock moved as expected and as discussed in those videos. So other than IEX, there's another company which I shared with a few of my fellow traders who showed interest in my Think and Guess part 2. So that company also gave us a very good point of entry, and I was able to actually enter it. And right now it's above the level which was shared and discussed. And there's also this company like another company which I will share in my future video, and this company is also one of the very good companies, but because of different block deals and different stakeholders selling their stakes, we are getting some dips in the short term, and so basically this is also going to give us a very good buying opportunity for holding in our long-term portfolio, right? So for example, but from a Nifty perspective, the only thing which I can say is I really don't expect much of a up move, and I know it might be very much against the sentiment of the market and against the sentiment of the people, not market but rather the sentiment of the people, because many of them and most of them I have heard they are all expecting Nifty to go higher, but the good thing about market is market doesn't believe in democracy, and it doesn't believe in what majority thinks, but market has its own mind and it moves accordingly. So from my perspective, I would if I have to bet my money, I would say that Nifty is going to dip, and Nifty is definitely going to break this channel. And once that happens, then we should all be ready with our cashes and try to, because if Nifty breaks this level, so the 15,500 level, so it will have a very drastic fall, and we can see we can see the levels of 15,000 in a very 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 short term, and that would actually be a very good trade. And this is what I am speculating, and this is where I am more interested in, because the thing is, it's only when the market dips and gets support that only gives more confidence to the investors, and it also gives more confidence to the people who want to deploy their fund. As and when if Nifty is going to go for a very weak breakout above 16,000, say for example, so many a times most of the positions which are created over here, they will try to liquidate with the very first breakout, and this eventually leads to a bigger problem of a false breakout. And once that happens, and with FIIs selling every day, this can lead to a huge negative sentiment, and that might actually create more damage to our portfolio and to the generic sentiment of the market, because it's better to not have a breakout than to have a false breakout. The way Nifty is working and the way Reliance has been manipulated and indexed managed, I am really not very much. See, the other thing is, after the AGM, the way Reliance has moved, and the way Reliance was trying to take support at 2800 2080 levels, this was something of a good thing that there was a consolidation happening. But the move which has started in the last session, I am really not very much in favor of that move. And it's these false moves which are created by index managers for managing the sentiment of the market. This actually creates a more problem for investors and for traders like us. So going forward, I think it would be the best for the market if a Nifty has a fall, and that fall will be a drastic fall, and with that fall, we would be getting more scope for making our portfolio. Because no matter what, even if Nifty is below 15,000 level, because you can see it over here, let's draw the 15,000 level and highlight it, it would be here, right? So even if Nifty, as we can see that this here, well, the channel support is near about 14,900. So even if Nifty actually falls, still falls below 15,000, these would be very good levels which will give some very quick bounce backs. And once that happens, that will give not only scope for new investors and fresh entries, but it will also give us a confirmation that there are big players and big buyers who are actually waiting for the dip. So that's all I have to share for now. So right now you can see Nifty is between 15,900 and 15,500. It's in the 400 points move, and theoretically very soon we should be seeing a very clear cut breakdown or a breakout. Hopefully, I expect that the breakdown would be a very good scenario. And one of the very classic examples which you can see from 5th July, that's the next week, is this low of 15,600. So I would suggest you to have a look at 15,600, and I hope that there is no negative news in the market, because these actually then invalidate the whole structure, because they act like a fuel to the fire, and then it's very hard for psychological and positional traders like me, who try to understand the sentiment of for the market by the price action, So hopefully there won't be any bad news flow, and if that's not the case, and if Nifty is able to breach 15,600, so theoretically we should be seeing the levels of 15,500 below. Then theoretically this is exactly the level and the chart where the Nifty would be getting support. And if this breakdown happens, it would be a very vigorous and a very quick one. So that would be good. It would be a good thing in many sense. First of all, is we would be making very quick money in shorts. So one of the very safest thing you can do if this breaks is you can go ahead and sell 15,600 call, and you can hedge yourself against by 16,000 call, and in this way you can play this particular sentiment or in this particular move. And going forward, when Nifty will be trying to get a support around about 15,000, then we would be closing our shots, and then we would be making our long positions for our portfolio. Thanks a lot for listening. Hope this video was helpful in understanding how and which direction I am more poised for Nifty 50. And as again, these are all speculations, so please consult a financial advisor for any investment or trading related query. I am just sharing a view which I think would be beneficial for the market, beneficial for the retailers. But till the time comes, I always say that if parents are fighting, if mom and dad are fighting, so it's better for the kids to stay in the room. So FIIs and DII, they are all again fighting against each other, and they are trying to move the market according to their will. So we as retailers, we should always try to be away from this fight, and it's only when we have a very definite trend, and then only we should try to jump in it. One of the things which is very sort of confusing for me, and even till now I'm not able to comprehend, is why is the selling of FIIs are being absorbed by the buying of DIIs, and I really don't understand this logic of why this index is so heavily managed. So this is one of the things which is not good for the market, because FIIs have made a lot of positions since the corona times, and one of the sectors, if they start heavily selling, would be largely affected would be sectors like pharma and definitely IT. So I would suggest that you guys should stay away from these sectors, even though they are defensive sectors, because if the fall has to come, it has to come in these two particular sectors, definitely, because they have huge amount of profit. They're sitting in the profit. Most of the IT companies are at all-time highs, so for them to liquidate and book profit would be a very simple thing. But going forward, as I said, I have no idea why the DIIs are trying to hold these levels, and theoretically for me, breakdown towards 15,000 and then getting a support and getting some buy would be a very good situation, and would be a very good scenario for every one of us. But till the time comes, we would be sleeping in this range, and we don't know for how long. Hopefully next week we don't have some very positive or some very negative news coming in for which Nifty moves, but rather I want the move which is going to come next, whether in the upside or in the downside. That should happen without any news flow, and then it would be a much meaningful and much confirmed move. And this is exactly where I am trying to, wherever I am able to get some profit, I am booking myself and I am keeping my cash ready, so that as the new move comes in, I would be able to join in and I would be able to participate in the next leg. Thanks a lot for listening. Hope this video is going to give you some insight of what's going inside my mind regarding Nifty 50. As usual, I am not pessimistic of the market, but the thing is, the way this structure looks like and the way this DIIs are trying to support and keep the market buoyant is something which I really don't like. And maybe it's only in the next week, or that's the first week of July, that we would be getting some idea. Thanks a lot for listening and enjoy your weekend. Bye bye.